Hi, this is Jacques Taylor, and you're listening to Jacques Talk. This is a podcast where I talk about the Cowboys, the team I've covered as a beat writer, columnist, TV insider, and radio host for 28 years. I'll also talk about the NFL and the things I love, working out, streaming, food, and all things Dallas. Welcome to Jacques Talk, where sports is fluid. What's true today might not be true an hour, a day, or a month from now. I'm going to give you the truth straight, no chaser. Glad to have you aboard. Let's get it. Welcome to episode 103 of Jacques Talk. I'm Jacques Taylor, joined by my boy Big Joe in the Big Rig. What's the sit rep, dog?
We are 49 seconds in, and Operation Jacques Talk is a go.
Welcome to episode 103. We hope you are prepared to be entertained and dazzled for the next hour or so. Number 3, it must be a kicker. Anybody else come to mind?
Steady Eddie Murray.
I'll take Eddie Murray.
I think he was 3.
I'd probably go with Richard Cunningham myself.
Richard Cunningham. I thought he was 18 or something like that. Oh, I could be thinking about Chris Bonio. You know they all run together.
No, Chris Bonio was 18.
There you go.
Richard Cunningham was a dude who was great. He was great, and then he fell off a cliff. He's like a golfer with a yips.
I.e. Nick Folk.
He just started missing and could never get it back.
Nick Folk, even though Nick Folk got it back, but he kind of went sideways with us.
You know what? Richard Cunningham, I don't know that Richard Cunningham ever got it back.
I don't think so. I think he missed a bunch of kicks for Minnesota Vikings, too. I'll tell you what, we was talking about kickers. We were talking about number 2. Lynn Elliott came to mind. I think he was number 2.
You'll have to save that for episode 202.
Yeah, because he was raggedy.
Yeah, and we that's in the past.
I don't know. I was trying to
numbers.
get back, but I thought about that later on. But all right, I got you.
Hey,
I got you.
That's all good. We appreciate the effort and the intensity.
What is Brandon Cooks?
We moving on.
Brandon Cooks 3?
He might be 3.
Yeah.
He my guy, so I should know Brandon Cooks. He's a real player, not a kicker.
Yeah, shoot the arrow.
So yeah. Oh, I forgot. Y'all forgive me. Dave, the content guy, is a kicker. So when I said a real player, not a kicker,
I didn't say. Well,
called me a 12-letter cuss word.
See, a kicker becomes a real player when he becomes good.
Yeah,
if he good,
Dave's a kicker, so he don't want to hear that nuanced statement.
Well,
he's like, you don't hold nobody else to that standard.
Yeah, you do.
But hey,
a quarterback become a quarterback when he become good. Yeah, you do. He just the guy.
Girls even when he ain't good. Kicker is not getting the girls when he's just a guy.
If the kicker,
quarterback, even the third string quarterback got the girls.
If the kicker got game,
nothing.
If the kicker got game, it's all about game. You got game.
Yeah, if the kicker got game, he got girls. But if you don't have no game. But a quarterback without game can get girls.
Roger that.
That's what I'm saying.
Roger that. I agree.
Right. Now let's move on before the people decide this is not entertaining nor dazzling. If this almost happened to me the other day. Some fool was driving crazy in the rain in a BMW, and it was fishtailing, and I actually stopped on the bridge because I was like, you are not about to knock me into the water the other day. But had that happened, and had I survived, or even if I was in the car underwater, I'd have quickly pulled out my phone and called 972-934-8900 and said, hey! Before I drown, let me tell you what happened. And hopefully, before I died, the person on the other end was said, hey, this sounds like a winner. We'll accept you as a client. And then I could have died happy, knowing my family would be taken care of. But that's why you call Green and Law, 972-934-8900. On the real, in case somebody else's negligence causes you harm. And it doesn't matter really whether it's a fool driving in the rain, or there's a workplace accident, a medical malpractice, workplace incident. It doesn't matter. If somebody else's negligence has caused you some harm, you need to give them a call and let them work it out for you because they handle literally everything. If you need a doctor's appointment, they'll find your doctor, set up an appointment. If you need the specialist, they'll find your specialist, set up an appointment. All you do is show up because they want you focused on 2 things and 2 things only: healing and renewal. Get your mind right, get your body right, and then get your life back. It's really that simple for them. That's what they focused on. That's what they want you to do. And so they do everything in their power to help you focus on those two areas. Now, what I like about Greening Law, besides the fact that call don't cost you nothing, it's free. Consultation is free. The other thing is they don't get paid unless you get paid. So you ain't never got to sit there and wonder, like, where do I fit on the priority list? Are they really focused on my case? Are they handling all my bit? Yeah, they are. They want to get paid, but they're not getting paid unless you get paid. So it's a win-win situation, and that's what makes them really effective, in my opinion. And so it's Greening Law. 972-934-8900 is the number. Let them help you, because they ride with you. They handle literally everything. They tell you when to turn left and when to turn right and when to crawl and when to walk and when to run. All you got to do, listen to me carefully, is listen, follow their instructions, and let them do what they do. It's really that simple. Now, let's talk about what's going on with your Dallas Mavericks. And we, the last time they played, they lost. Most folks in Dallas have gone crazy because they controlled the game and then they lost it at the end. But I viewed it differently. And that's just me. It's what I do. I viewed it as a situation where I must have said this 2 or 3 times on Twitter. The Mavs are really playing phenomenal basketball. This was before they started missing all them free throws. Yet they're only up by 8 or they're only up by 10. Like, they could never say, I mean, Oklahoma City was playing pretty well themselves, and that's one reason why the Mavericks could never pull away. Even when they got it up to 14 at 57-43, it didn't take them long to cut it back to 8. And then it kind of went 8 to 10, 8 to 10, 8 to 10, 8 to 6, 8 to 6, 8 to 6, 8 to 10, 8 to, I mean, but they never buried them. They never could. And so, as I was watching the game, it's not that I thought Oklahoma City was going to come back and win, but I did make a mental note of, you're hanging around. At some point, if you don't put them away, you're going to be in a position for disaster to occur. And sadly for the Mavericks, that's what happened. But this is all I'm going to say about it, dog, and then I'm going to ask you something. I don't know why. This is just me, and you can tell me. It feels like people thought this was supposed to be some easy series. Oklahoma City was number 1 in the West. The West. Not the East. The West. So, I mean, what did you expect? I expected a long series. I expected the Mavericks to get blown out once. I expected the Mavericks to lose a game they probably should have won once. I expected Oklahoma City to get blown out once. And I expected Oklahoma City to lose a game they should probably win once. Because that's what happens in a long series. And now it's a best of 3. Mavericks got a veteran team. Mavericks got a really, really good team. This is a pretty even series. And so I don't think the sky's falling. I just think they got to play better. What do you think?
I'm not an expect type of guy. I thought we was playing with house money because I knew Oklahoma City was the better team. What I thought about the game right quick was we up by 11 at the half. And we 12 or 23 from the free throw line, 52%. And I'm going, there's your lead right there. There, it kind of plays into what you were saying. There's your stretch right there. If you just hit them free throws, they can't get back in the game on you. And they decided to get more. They decided to be more physical with Dallas, jump them screens and whatnot. And they did a lot of holding and a lot of different stuff that I thought, and that's what lead to a lot of fouls and stuff. So if they're gonna play you more physical, they're gonna try to jump screens and do all that stuff that they need to do to try to slow you down, and then they pay for it with sending you to the free throw line. You got to hit that. You got to hit that.
And I think most nights they do hit it.
Yep.
The Mavericks been playing basketball since I was in the 8th grade. They showed up in 1980. I was a huge fan. Dick Motta, Mark Aguirre, Rolando Blackman, Jay Vincent. I believe that was the big 3 at the time.
Yeah, no Roy Tarpley yet.
No Roy. We ain't going to talk about him. So, what I'm saying is, they've been playing 40-some years, 42 years, 43 years. That's the second worst playoff free throw shooting performance ever. My point is, that's about as big an aberration as you can get. That's not the norm. That's not going to happen again. They picked a terrible night for it to happen. But I'm not sitting here going, oh, my God, now the Mavericks are a terrible shooting free throw team. No, they shoot about 78% for the year. They're not a great free throw shooting team, but they're a solid free throw shooting team. I mean, hell, Kyrie missed one, and I was like, damn, this is not a good sign. And Luka always struggles at the line for a superstar.
Yeah, you do.
That being said, I did not expect him to miss one. But, I think sometimes, man, and I heard it a lot listening to sports talk radio, something I probably shouldn't have done. I know people don't want to understand this and people don't want to hear this. Dude's a human, dog. They don't always play great. Even the great ones don't always play great. And so don't nobody want to hear that, but that's what it is. I'm a little, Luka, the interesting thing about Luka is as they move into game 5 is I want to see how he adjusts his game. Okay, if you're hurt, and I believe that he is with a sprained knee and Lord knows what else the way he's been getting banged around. But you have to figure out a way, if you're the superstar that we believe that you are, you still have to figure out a way to make it do what it do. Because, and I can say it now that we've been watching, man. I understand greatness when I see it. And Luka is a great offensive player. Dude averaged 34 points a game. He has not sniffed 30 in this series. He has not had one of those Luka outbursts that makes you go, wow. And I don't know how much of that is injury, how much of that is Oklahoma City defense. Perhaps it's a combination of the two. But he has to find some more of a semblance of his offensive game for them to truly be, for them to win this series. Because 6 out of 20, my brother, ain't going to get it done.
Well, Luka's game is put it simply, is based upon his base. He's not a jumper. He's not quick, but he is strong and he is a bully. And when you got low, when you hurt, and you got them lower extremity, hurt in your lower extremities, you ain't pushing off. And then those little bunnies that you shoot, they short because you ain't getting all of it into it. He get every inch out of his athletic ability. And, I think he hindered right now. So you're right. He got to adjust his game. But I think just because his legs is bothering him, that's got a lot to do with it. Because when he do the step back, his arms and his legs, it ain't really there. Mr. Irvin got to get. I understand he playing a smooth game and a team game and all of that, but we're gonna need a little more scoring from him. And he can't wait. He can't wait till late.
I would not be surprised at all if he came out very aggressive and very assertive in Game 5, because this is twice now. I think because at one point I mentioned that I was like, damn, Kyrie got no points. He 0 for 2 from the field, but he got 7 assists. But
yep.
And assists are great. And we what'd you say? We get it, dog. You are not selfish, no matter how people have made you out to be recently in the recent past. But hey, bruh, you need to get involved a little early. And this is what you be talking about, and I'm gonna co-sign with you on this. We know he's not supposed to take more shots than Luka. And on a given night, perhaps somebody's hot and he doesn't take more shots than that guy. But there ain't no way in the world Kyrie Irving's supposed to finish a game up with like 11 shots and be 5th on the team in shots.
Yeah.
It just ain't. He's not supposed to have, matter of fact, unless he's in the midst of a career high, ain't no way in hell he's supposed to have fewer shots than Derrick Jones Jr.
Well, the funny thing about it is you co-sign with me, but I'm a co-sign with your ass because check this out. The game before, what he have? 7 points, 11 assists.
Yeah.
All right, and we won. So really, if they don't get in the hole because they're not hitting them damn free throws, if they don't give it back like that, we still in the game, and it's possible that we win. So it's really not. He trying to save, like his 4 of 11 shooting was trying to get us back in the game that we gave back. Because the way they played the game before, they still could have won the other night the same way. Because I was saying, hey, I don't care if we play like that as long as we win. Well, he had 9 assists. If we don't get ourselves in the hole, or not, let them dudes push us around and don't capitalize on the free throws, then he's still good. We still win the same way.
Now, see this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. I get what you're saying. But like I say, I'm gonna be right back at you. As long as we win, I don't give a shit what the numbers look like.
Okay, now see, I'm gonna go back with you one more time. When we played Madden, because I've used this a million times in the NFL now.
I know what you finna
You already know where I'm going. Which is, or when we play 2K, the best players at the end of the day, again, there were some outliers and some aberrations here and there. The best players need to have the ball in their hands because they the best player. We ain't wasting no carries on Moose Johnston and all of that.
Yeah.
Emmett is getting all the carries.
Getting the ball.
Right. And so what I'm saying is, P.J. Washington, 19 shots. That's a lot of corner threes. His shots are coming because they driving and kicking. I get that.
Yep.
And Derrick Jones Jr., he had him there. Now, what we also have to understand is, as the series moves into Game 5, Oklahoma City wants you to do that. Because they like, oh, yeah, we'll take anybody. Luka and Kyrie ain't shooting, we good, baby. If they make them and we lose, hey, chalk it up. They professionals too. Give them a hand. So you can't give them what they want, even though that is what they want. Because normally on a day where P.J. Washington scores 21, Derrick Jones Jr. scores 17, and Derek Gafford gets you 10 points and 8 boards, and Lively gets you 7 and 6, so that your centers get you 17 points and 18 rebounds, you win the game. But that did not happen here. And so, it's a long series. I thought it was always going to be a long series. I like the way the Mavericks are playing. The defense yesterday, even when they scored 35 points in the fourth quarter, man, it ain't like the Mavericks played bad defense. I mean, they were contesting shots. It's the NBA, baby. These cats are good. And I know you can't play with them worth a damn on 2K, but SGA, that boy got all my respect right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, they shot 38% from the field. I mean, then they got hot in the fourth. Everything they threw up went in. Yeah. Everything. And that's the problem when you let people hang around.
Yeah, because they got confidence in this, that. But like SGA 14 and 27 from the field, I don't even remember him missing 13 shots. Most of those must have been early in the game because he was killing it in the second half. And I'm going to tell y'all, and I think I told y'all before, I had never really watched him play because why? Ain't nobody been watching Oklahoma City play for why? Up until this year. And so they didn't get a lot of national TV games, so I haven't seen him much. But, man, that dude can get to his spots whenever he want to get to them. And then he hit you with the I call it the fall away jumper feel like. And old school in the mid-range game because I don't remember him hitting no threes. He took 1 3.
Well, he wasn't that good in the first half.
Right.
I had some people that I know that was Oklahoma fans, and they do have fans. And they called. Really? They was texting me. I got a cousin that's texting me. He's like, I'm done with Shea. If they lose today, I'm out with him.
Man, tell that dude shut up.
No, he know what he talking about. But he a big time fan. But see, what happened was he wasn't being aggressive in the first half. And then they kept grinding. And he realized, okay, we can do something in this game. And then he just turned it up. He's a superstar, but he's still developing. He's still developing. Once he start playing consistently both halves, it's over with. And once those other guys get a little better, it's over with. Oklahoma's going to have a long run. Them guys are all young.
You know what, dog? Not only are they young, now again, I have not watched them, so I mean, it is what it is. But I noticed something about them, dog. And it doesn't really surprise me at one level. When you're young and you start to win together and you come in together, if your leader is the right kind of guy, and Shea appears to be the right kind of guy, you can grow together. And what I've noticed is when they interview him after the game, all his boys be behind him.
Yeah.
I'm like the first time I was like, oh, man, it was a big win. And so they were just like, hey, we won the game. But no, they was behind him yesterday. I was like, maybe this is just what they do.
They're young.
And I was like, ooh.
Well, he's 25. Your best
Right.
player is 25. He's still young. He matured. Remember Chris Paul played with him. Remember Chris Paul was in Oklahoma.
I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, he got traded to Oklahoma. He got traded for Carmelo Anthony.
Right.
And remember Chris Paul was with him for a little while. Chris Paul loved him. Chris Paul said he was all about ball. And that's a big endorsement right there.
Well, look at his numbers.
Yeah.
Like, he played with the Clippers as a rookie and averaged 10 points a game. Then he got traded to Oklahoma City, averaged 19. Next year he went to 23. Next year he went to 24.
Mm-hmm.
And then he hit 31. And then this year he hit 30. So, I mean, that's the kind of growth and development you want to see from anybody.
I think he had 4 blocks yesterday or the other day.
Damn, did he? So,
I'm looking at his stats. I thought he had 5 in the block before that. If I'm looking at the wrong column, let me know. But I think he had 4 blocks yesterday.
well, what I do know is he's a problem. And he's playing with a lot of confidence in there. Again, I keep trying to tell y'all, they finished first in the West for a reason. I mean, everybody knows the West is where it's at in the NBA, and they finished at the top of the heap. They're supposed to be good, and no matter how well the Mavericks have been playing, this team been playing good all year. That's why they finished number 1 in the West.
Yes.
So go ahead.
It's matchups to me. The Mavericks had them on the ropes with the matchups because the Mavericks was pushing them around, and you saw PJ post up a little bit. He came off the 3-point line, post up a little bit the game before. And then this game, the first game, they was chasing Jalen Williams all over the place. And they couldn't keep up with him. PJ was trying to keep up. And the Mavericks switched it. They started going inside with PJ a little bit. Then this game, it was a little mix of everything. And just can't let them hang around because, like you said, they champs. They was first in the West. I think the Mavericks had them on the ropes. They let them up. That's what I'm saying. I know it's going to be hard, but you can't give away them series like that. And before I mention, let me mention, I got yelled at because when Lucas stepped to the line, I said, he going to miss one. And she was like, you jinxed. My wife loved basketball. You jinxed him. You need to be quiet. Okay, my bad.
You should have told her, I don't believe in jinxes.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, see, I don't.
I do.
They get mad at me because I don't never believe in jinxes.
Well, I do.
Ain't nobody jinxing Michael Jordan.
Luck play a lot of in everything.
We could talk about that all day long.
Yep.
But it's Game 5. It's the Mavericks. It's the Thunder, and I think conventional wisdom says the Thunder will come out all ablaze and play well and win the game. But the Mavericks, the last 2 games have been very tight games, really. The essence of the games. And so I expect another tight game in Game 5. I think the Thunder will come out and they'll take an early lead. But then we'll see. As long as the Mavericks are within about 6 or 8 at the end of the first quarter, it'll settle down into a game, and then we'll see what happens. Right now, I think, is all the talk about whether Jason Kidd is a good coach, not a good coach, whatever. This is when Jason Kidd makes his money because I don't think he's that great in game. But getting you ready for the next game, I think he's pretty good at that. And so they'll have to make some adjustments with their offense. They'll have to make some adjustments to help Kyrie and Luka be better offensively. Because when you think about it, those cats average nearly 56 points a game combined during the regular season. And almost 60. And, they're not even hitting 40 right now. Some of that's Oklahoma City defense. Some of that is injury. And some of that is they got to be more efficient and better at what they're trying to do on offense.
I'm good with Jason. I didn't count Jason as one of the better coaches, kind of because his track record ain't been great. But I'm good. I'm good with Jason. Jason has gotten Kyrie and Luka to play together. He's gotten them guys to play defense. The other guys are bought in. The coach can only do so much.
Right.
The fact that Kyrie walking around with the baby, Kyrie love it here, and he ain't being a damn nut job. I'm gonna get that to Mark Cuban and Jason on making him comfortable And that's part of being coaching. That's part of your organization. You know.
Now here's the other thing. I had the good fortune to take my son to game 3, and we had some really good seats. And part of what I did during the game, because it's hard for me to sit there and act like a fan because I've been a reporter for so long, but I watched Jason Kidd a lot during the game. Because everybody says, "Oh, he's like a robot on the sideline. He's not engaged. He doesn't do this. He doesn't do that." Man, please. If you watch him during the game, which you don't get to see on TV because ain't nobody focused on the coach during the game on TV, he doesn't do that much when they got the ball on offense. When they got the ball on defense, that dude is engaged, man. He's pointing, he's this, he's moving that. He's telling the guy to come over here. He's directing the thing, and he is highly engaged on defense. And, Derek Lively came out the game at one point, headed to the bench, and he snatched him for a second and told him something and had a couple words for him and then dapped him up and let him go to the sideline. So I think what he does is he's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Adamant is, I don't know if that's the right word that I want, but he makes it a point after games and in front of the media to come off a certain way. And I don't believe that's how he really is. Like, he speaks with a very soft voice and speaks very slowly and deliberately and shows very little emotion when talking to the media. But I think that's just for the media. I don't think that's for the players, and I don't think that's for the team. I think that's just the perception he puts out there, but that's not who he really is.
Most definitely. It's a what is that? What we call that? A river is looks like it's flowing real slow on the top, but it's churning like crazy on the bottom. Jason has a quiet fire about him. Yeah, he almost actually, he didn't play like that.
Right. So that's why I don't think he is like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And he was one of my favorite players to talk to when I was really covering the team. And we had a great conversation on some road trip about soccer because he grew up playing a lot of soccer. He's like, "Oh, my God, it's the best sport ever for young people. I tell all people they should play soccer." And then later we would talk about his son because his son, TJ, was like 12 years old with damn near a full beard.
Oh, okay.
Because his mama was from the Middle East. And we used to laugh about that all the time. But anyway, so I've always kind of been a J Kidd dude, and so I like talking to him. And it won't be this year, but next year, hopefully, I have a little more time to go over there and hang out and really get inside him because not a lot of people do. Either because he doesn't let them, or they're not interested, and it could be either way because. As somebody who reads quite a bit, I can't, matter of fact, I should Google it. I can't tell you the last time I read an in-depth piece on Jason Kidd. It just doesn't happen. So, for whatever reason. But not a lot of in-depth stories on Jason Kidd.
Roger that.
Well, let's move on to the team that looks like they're trying to win a championship. Your Dallas Stars. I watched them play last night, and it was I was interested to see how they were going to play because they were up 2-1 in the series. About an hour before the game, Colorado was informed that one of its top players was suspended for 6 months for violating the drug substance abuse policy. And so, normally in those situations, the game goes two ways. Either the team that lost their star galvanizes and plays the game of their life, at least for one game, and they beat you, or they're so distracted that you just take them behind the woodshed and whoop that ass. Well, the Stars took them behind the woodshed and whooped that ass. They outshot them something like 16-2 in the first period. They snuffed them out. They were up 2-0. When they pulled within 2-1, they got it back about 2 or 3 minutes later. 3-1, 4-1 made it a blowout. And Colorado was the best home team in the NHL this year. Stars smacked them upside the head twice in a row. And so they look like they're streaking. They're playing some great hockey now. They will be the favorite whether they get Edmonton or whether they get Vancouver. and they've already been through a couple really good teams in Las Vegas and Colorado, and so at this point, I expect them to get to the NHL. I mean, to the Stanley Cup Finals, and then it's just a matter of who they get. And I'm telling you right now, and again, I ain't breaking no news. They finished with the most points in the Western Conference. All right, so it's not like they ain't been great all year. They look every bit the champion right now. Like they are peaking at the right time. They're playing their best hockey. They're starting to get production from a lot of different guys. Their goalie is in a good spot, and they are peaking at the right time, because to beat the Avalanche 9-2,
damn,
in a couple of games, dude. I mean, and don't forget, the Avalanche scored 30 goals in their game against Winnipeg, and Winnipeg had the best defense in the league, and now they can't score nothing because the Stars have just snuffed them out, man. So your Dallas Stars are playing great, and they're playing at the right time. And they're going. I fully expect them to finish them off in 5, get a little bit of rest, and then get Edmonton and the Edmonton-Vancouver winner. What is that series at? I need to see where that series is, because I ain't gonna lie to you, so I've been paying attention to it. It's been a very tightly contested series. This Vancouver leads it 2-1. Every game's been 1 goal game. 5-4, 4-3, 4-3. So those have been some very tightly contested games with Edmonton and Vancouver. And just so you know, those teams, where is it? I like to look at it the other way. I see the standings, but I like to look at the conference, because that's what matters. Edmonton was 5th in the West, and Vancouver was 3rd. But to put it in perspective, Dallas won 52 games, Vancouver won 50, and Edmonton won 49. So, they all Colorado won 50. So they all in the same boat. But anyway, bro, it's going to be fun as the Stars get it cranked up. And, nobody jumps on the Dallas Stars bandwagon like Dallas fans.
You're right, because I was just sitting there thinking, shit, you know what? I ain't got no press guy, but they got a website, so that's what I'm fixing to know everybody.
They got a good website. But the thing about the Stars, and I've been saying this all along, and I felt good because my guy, he's my guy. I'm claiming him like everybody, a lot of other people.
Everybody, your guy.
Mark Messier, who used to play with Wayne Gretzky when the Edmonton Oilers was winning 5 cups in a row.
Messier was a Ranger, too.
Yes, he was. He guaranteed the Game 7 win the last time they won a cup. But he talked about the wonderful mix of youth and veterans that the Stars have. And he goes, that's what, they're talented because it starts with that. But what makes them so dangerous is they got the experience and the leadership in the locker room, whether you're talking about Pavelski or whether you're talking about Jamie Benn. And even now, even though he's still a young guy, what are you talking about, Miro Heiskanen? But then they got these young cats, man. Oh, he was also talking about Tyler Seguin. And Tanny, the defenseman they picked up right at the trade deadline. But he's also talking about, but then they got these young cats, man. Like Wyatt Johnston and Stankoven and even Jason Robertson. And he's like, man, between the veterans and the youth, and then you got guys like Rupe Hintz. I mean, they cover you in every level, man. And when they're playing good, you get nothing. The way they snuffed out Colorado's offense the other day, I was just like, wow. I mean, Colorado was getting nothing, man. At one point, they had been outshot 26-10, and then Ottinger's playing well. So, there's no room to breathe when you're playing the Stars right now. They're playing terrific, and it's going to be very, very difficult for anybody to beat them the way they're playing right now. Now, I will say this before we move on. Hockey's a weird game, dog. The puck can bounce funny ways. The Rangers were up in their series 3-0. That thing is 3-2 headed back to Carolina now. The puck is a funny thing. Goalies can get hot. And so we were talking about how the Mavericks needed to take control of their series. The Stars need to go and finish that thing off in 5, get some rest, and keep it moving, because hockey playoff series can change instantly.
Well, I'm ready. I'm gonna get the iced tea out, because it's gonna be a lot of late nights. Kind of like the Rangers, back to back to back. Do they play like that? Hockey playoffs like that?
No, they usually take a day off.
They space them out. Yeah. I was tired as hell during the Rangers, but hey, man, it was good stuff. You know?
Because the reality of it is, 2 of them games gonna be on the West Coast, whether they get Vancouver, whether they get Edmonton.
Right.
Which means 9:30 start, late night, and we'll just see how it go. Because hockey with their overtime, I ain't gonna be up till 2 in the morning waiting for a third overtime to be over. I'm just gonna tell y'all that right now. So we'll figure out a game plan and then try to execute it. But let's take a trip around the block, man.
Around the block.
Well, we had Mother's Day this weekend, and Mother's Day, man, is if you still got your mother, it can be a beautiful day to celebrate and honor your mother. If you don't have your mother, it can be a tricky day. Maybe you get caught all up in the emotion of the day and the memories, and not having your mother is a very difficult day for you. Or maybe it's not. It's all kind of weird. When you've lost your mother, depending on the relationship that you had with her, it's just weird. I've told my friends for many years when the topic came up that Mother's Day is not necessarily a holiday that bothers me emotionally. Not necessarily. I get, but see, check this out. So I got up on Mother's Day, and I was piddling around my house for a minute. Then I decided to go get my Mother's Day workout in. I like to do that to honor her, get a workout in. Because my mom had never really been sick a day in her life. And then she got sick, and 2 weeks later she was gone at 52. So it came out of the blue. And so now I've lived 5 years longer than my mother did. And so that's kind of weird to me. And so I make it a point on Mother's Day to kind of honor her by working out, because I'm still here and can work out. But I was leaving the gym, dog, and it was raining, pouring down rain. I was leaving the bougie gym. And I said, since it's pouring down raining, let me just hold tight for a minute. So I started looking at the Mother's Day post on Facebook. The ones who still had their mom and the ones who didn't. And then I said to myself, self, since you got a couple minutes here and it's raining, you should send these pictures of your mom to your son. Bad move, dog. So I sent my son about 4 or 5 pictures of my mother, because remember, he never met her. She was gone before he arrived. And then I sent him a note. That's where I messed up, dog. It was a short note, man, about 3 sentences. Hey, here's some pictures of my mom. I'm really, one of my big disappointments in life is that you never got to meet her. I should have stopped right there, man. Instead, I added that 3rd sentence. She would have loved the man you became. Next thing I know, man, it was gone. It was on. Got hit with a Joe Louis left hook. And them tears was flowing for about 3 or 4 minutes. Then they stopped. Then I just walked to the car and said, well, she got me again. But that's how it goes on Mother's Day for me. It's not so much the holiday, man. I always miss my mother most when I start thinking about my kids or my grandkids and how I wish she had gotten to see them or interact with them or really, experience them the way I do. And that thing be pissing me off and make me sad, because she just would have had a blast. And I feel disappointed that she didn't get to experience that. How was the day for you?
I don't know. I feel strange about Mother's Day because my mom passed in 17, I think. So it's still fresh. And then all the things that I've been through after she passed away, I would have really liked to have her counsel. You know,
Right.
I'm pretty level-headed, but I don't, just some of the things, she'll say, forget about it or do this or do that, and it's a lot of weight. Her words carried a lot of weight with me. And I think I disappointed my mom when I didn't finish college, because me and her had great plans. And I was going to be a writer. I was going to do all these things, but I was more thinking I was going to go to the NFL. I don't know why. But what happened, I came home from school, and I know she was really disappointed. So pretty much every day after that, I spent the rest of my time making sure she was proud of me. And I hang my hat on that, and I still miss her. She was 16 when she had me, so we grew up together. I didn't get away with nothing. So yeah. So I miss her every day. Not so much on Mother's Day. Not no more on Mother's Day, but I miss her every day. I tried to be the best son I could, and I still don't feel like it's enough sometimes. And
All right.
I just, like I say, I don't have no problem saying I just wanted to make her proud, And a lot of people that know me know pretty much. Her name was Wanda. She should have named me Wanda Jr. because I'm a lot like her. And like you said, with your grandparents, my daughter and them knew their grandmother, but she would be so proud of my daughter right now, cause
right.
they kind of just like, if you look at her a certain way, she looks just like my mom. And she damn sure drive like my mom. She drive too she drive too damn fast, But I don't know. That's one of the things about Mother's Day. It's rough. The posts are rough. You're right. When you see those posts and you see people, especially the people that don't have their mom, and you knew them.
Yeah.
I saw the picture, the tribute you did to your mom. I tell you what. After my mom's birthday was December 19th. 1950.
Right.
For the rest of the year on the 19th, I posted a picture of my mom.
Right.
Of every month. The 19th of every month, I posted a picture of my mom for the first year. And that was kind of my tribute to her. And then when people do stupid shit to me, and I'm forgiving, I'm being forgiving about it, and I'm thinking of the bigger picture. That's my mom right there. My mom had hands, but as she got older, she taught me about the bigger picture. My grandpa taught me about the bigger picture. My mom taught me about the bigger picture. So that's a lot of the influence for me. So that's kind of what Mother's Day mean to me. Celebrating, one of the women in my life that really loved me. But her sisters have stepped up. I would say Aunt Minnie, Aunt Rochelle, Aunt Teresa, my living aunts, they stepped up. I think so. In place of her, not all the way, but as much as they can and as much as needed, and I appreciate that.
Right. Now, Mother's Day wasn't all somber. I had a good time. I ended up. My granddaughter wants to be a pastry chef. And so she decided to cook brunch for all the mothers in her life, which would be her mother, her grandmother, and her boyfriend's mother. How about that? And so we had brunch, and then we ended up playing cards, man. And we were talking about the other day. Playing cards is one of my favorite pastimes. Not a lot of people know that. And, I like to play spades, but I love to play bid whist, which is like spades on steroids. And so we got to playing spades, and my daughter thought she could play spades. She really did. And I said, girl, I was like, I didn't even, on Thanksgiving when I used to go visit my mom's people, I was in my early 30s before I got to play bid whist at the grown folks table. I had to sit there and be quiet and watch them play, or go play spades at the young cousins' table. I said, so you think you can play spades, girl? You'd have been at the young cousin's table and you might have got kicked off of there because you out here throwing out queens like they expecting them to walk the board and then looking all shocked when they get cut. That tell me right now you don't know what you're doing. Now that being said, bro, we had a good time playing cards.
You either playing or you a player.
You know?
That applies for everything. Football, basketball, spades.
Now here's what was interesting. Because I had a great time because at a certain point, it's not like we playing for money or nothing. So, after several hands, it became kind of like, okay, here's why you play that. Explain this to me. Okay, I see your thought process. Let me tell you why that's a bad thought process. So, so now I'm in the midst of trying to teach her the game. And one of the things I was teaching her, I said, you putting too much value on these cards. She's like, but I didn't want to lose the Joker because the big Joker was out there. I said, it don't matter, baby. At least now you know he's gone. He can't be the boogeyman if he gone.
Is this during the game or after the game?
Oh no, this is during the game or after a hand.
That's a family thing. Because if you got some people over there and you teaching them the game during the game, you gonna get cut up, and that person gonna get talked about bad.
No, this was a family game.
Yeah.
Because her boyfriend was playing and he was looking at it crazy too, and I didn't want them to have words, so I decided, let me teach you, baby. And but no, I'm just playing. No, it devolved. She was playing so crazy, it devolved into a teaching situation. Like, let me explain this to you. Let me help you. Play your winners first. Now, those of you who are experienced players, you can have different strategies, but I'm talking about for somebody who doesn't really understand the game the way they think. Hey, babe, play your winners first. Make sure you get your books that you're supposed to get. Okay, then we can move on. But we were playing, but her boyfriend was a very aggressive player who played a style that I normally see in bid whist, but I don't normally see in spades, which was like most of the time people play spades, you go through the suits and then you kind of hold your spades to the end. Well, he liked to play his spade. If he had them, he liked to play his spades early.
Get them out the way.
Get them out your hand. Yeah. And now all them queens that I say aren't winners can walk because of what I just said, because you don't have no spades to cut. And so I haven't really seen many people play with that strategy, playing spades. I see it playing bid whist with that strategy, but not so much in spades.
Anybody smoking cigarettes over there?
No, not the legal kind or the illegal kind.
But you know how that go. Back in the day, somebody had a cigarette hanging out their mouth with a beer right there going up. And your daughter probably laying down.
Now that
the granddaughter probably laying down the cards. She laying them down instead of flicking them out. You got to have style with that. You got to slap it or flick it or put it down. Yeah.
Her dude was flicking them.
Yeah. Yeah, give me that.
Because he had a little cup of Hennessy.
Yeah.
And the lower that cup got, the louder that flick got.
Yeah.
And my daughter, she started trying to put him down at the end.
Yeah.
So it was, then I started slamming them at the end.
Well, she started growing.
Right.
She grew in confidence. There you go. Yeah.
Because you can't slam them if you don't know what you're doing.
If you don't, you just laying them down. You trying to keep up with is it red? Is it black? Okay, I got it. That's what you're doing right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, the concept of I said, your partner is talking to you with the cards. She's like, what are you talking about? I said, you didn't see him play that? He wanted you to play that back. How could you tell?
Yeah.
I said, what you mean? I said, okay, check this out. If you throw out an ace and your partner throw out a queen, you should probably assume he ain't got no more of them.
Yeah, he throwing them away. Yeah. Yeah.
So we went next level spades talking, and she's better for it 2 days later. So, at the next family gathering or the next time there's some free time, which I guess maybe, I'm doing something really cool for Father's Day, so it won't be Father's Day. I'll give y'all a little hint. On Father's Day, me, my son, my father, and my brother, who lives in Phoenix, are all meeting in Phoenix, just the men, and we're going to have an epic weekend. Complete, I believe I've been told, with a photo shoot, a fancy dinner, some shit talking, and some exercise, and just really spend a men's weekend together, bonding and exchanging family history, and having a great time. So I'm looking forward to that. But Mother's Day was a good day, man. It started off a little somber, but it was cool by the end.
Yeah, I told you, I done played spades around the world, dominoes too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm solid at dominoes. I'm not good at dominoes. I'm just solid. I told at one point before I started the education, I told my daughter, I said, hey, you know how I do it, man. We just be talking, and then out the blue, I say, hey, by the way, if you go to, I said, get your phone. She said, right now? I said, yeah, get your phone. Go to YouTube. She said, okay. She said, what am I looking for? I said, scroll down there and get my master class on spades for 4 payments of $59.99. You can get how to play.
Yeah, that was like, yeah, okay.
I said, I got a master class out there.
That was
you should sign up and get it.
That was you know what makes that funny? It ain't funny if you playing with a bunch of grown-ups, because you got to throw a little cuss word in there, and you got but it's good for your granddaughter. Yeah, that's good for you, because she trusted your ass, you know, that you was doing something. Yeah, okay, that's good. Womp, womp. No, that's pretty good though. For your grandbabies, for the grandbabies, for sure.
Nah, this was my daughter, man. Mm-hmm. But it was still funny.
Yeah.
Cause she was on YouTube, so that's what made it funny. Then she gave me that look, really?
Yeah.
I said, hey, gotcha. So anyway, that was Mother's Day. It was a good time.
Yeah, we went to Cheesecake Factory, and my daughter took my wife shopping. I ain't had to go Saturday. That's always a good thing.
That man said I didn't have to go. That's the good thing.
I can't. No, I can't do retail, dog. I can't. No. If my daughter want to take her, I'm just in the way. I'm not looking at the same thing they looking at.
What they go shopping for, man? Did they go shopping for clothes or something else?
Whatever the hell they wanted. Is get out the way. I don't have to figure out nothing. That's my best move. What you want? Get what you want. And now my daughter, who's about to be 29, she come down, get mom. They gone all day, and I'm chilling. Right. I'm chilling, dog. I'm good. I'm good with that. I love that. That's a great thing. Not that I don't love my wife on Mother's Day. I do, but what's the best thing? Be buying some bullshit, or she go get what she want. It's all good.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
Yes, sir.
Let me give you a little hint about something. I've been talking about it for a minute. We'll have some more information for you maybe later this week. Definitely next week. But we're about to launch a YouTube series on the YouTube channel. It's called Jacques Talk One-on-One. And what it is I decided that what I enjoy most in this business these days is interviewing people. And so I decided that I should take what I like best, which is interviewing people, and what I'm really good at, and go have some conversations with Cowboys players from every era. The 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 60s, the aughts. Some of them are well-known, Ring of Honor guys that you'll hear from. Some of them are not so well-known, but who had a moment in time with the Cowboys and have some stories about when they played with Roger or when they were coached by Tom. And I think you'll enjoy it, but we're finna kick it off in the next week or so. And, I hope you go to the YouTube channel, The Real Jacques Talk, and indulge in it and really get to know some of your Cowboys in a way that you've never seen them before. Because like I said, what I do best is interview people and get them to talk about stuff they wouldn't normally talk about. And some of the stuff that you'll hear in these interviews will blow your mind. I know this because it blew mine. And so I'm looking forward to showing it and sharing it with you. And I hope that you guys will go to it, share it, look at it, enjoy it, and encourage your friends and family and Cowboy fans to do the same. Jacques Talk One-on-One. I'm excited. Dave's been working on it. That's content Dave. He been working on it, and I've been working on it. Some of you seen it on Facebook. We've been talking about it for a minute, but we about ready to roll it out. And hey, stay tuned for the promos because they're coming. Kind of like Dion. It's not we coming, they coming. And now, my friend, let's talk about them Dallas Cowboys for a minute. Did you pay? Matter of fact, let me start it like this. This Cowboys conversation is brought to you by my good friends at Smokey John's Barbecue. And the reason we're not having Todd Archer on this week is because I decided, since the coaches were talking, I need to go out there and talk to them a little bit myself, listen to what they had to say, introduce myself to a couple people, reintroduce myself to a couple people, and be in the midst so we can continue to bring you some inside Cowboys information that you can't get anywhere else. That being said, Cowboys Talk on Wednesdays is brought to you by Smokey John's Barbecue. That food that is to live for. The Jam Session Bowl. You know, they got smoked wings on Wednesday. Y'all need to stop laughing, but y'all need to go get some of those. If you know, you know.
Yeah, I know.
They're delicious.
I know, damn it.
They're delicious. They melt in your mouth, and they'll make your woman come home as quick as humanly possible. But if we're going to keep it real, Smokey John's Barbecue, in addition to the great owners, Juan and Brent, they're really known for the Jam Session Bowl. What is that, you may ask? Jam Session Bowl, man. It's a mac and cheese bowl, base bowl, or mashed potato base bowl. And then your choice, 2 out of 5 smoked meats. Your boy likes to rock with the brisket and the sausage. And then all that stuff they put on the loaded baked potato like chives and bacon bits and sour cream and cheese. All that stuff, butter. They put all that stuff on top of it. And then they drizzle it with sauce or they drench it with sauce. However you like it. It is to live for. It is delicious. It's easily enough for 2 people. You know, as soon as Dave, the content guy, gets off this diet, he'll go have one. He's on a diet. See, lifestyle change you do forever. Diet is what you do for a short period of time when you're trying to make it happen. But once he come off this diet, we'll go indulge in the Jam Session Bowl, and then he, like Joe, will be able to give you a testimony about how it is to live for. It's enough for 2 people. If you got a little shorty to 6 or 7, the 3 of y'all can easily eat off of it. It is delicious. Now, if you need Smokey John's a little sooner than that, like you can't get to the storefront at 1820 West Mockingbird, hey, go to the website, SmokeyJohns.com. Order the rub right here. Order sauce. Get it sent to your crib. Be there in a couple days. Or, if you got to have it like now, it's at HEB on the shelves, the rub. It's great on chicken. It's great on beef. It's great on popcorn. It's great on everything. Real talk. Go to HEB in McKinney, Burleson, Allen, Frisco, Walmart. Waxahachie. They got them everywhere now. They're popping up everywhere. But go to HEB, get your rub. It's fantastic. Smokey John's Barbecue. It is to live for. It is love in your mouth. You thought I wasn't going to say that, didn't you, Joe? This is part of the show where Joe turns his mic off every time out of, what's the word I'm looking for? Out of protest, because he doesn't like my choice of words. But that's okay. It's okay. Now, as for those Dallas Cowboys, you want to hear about the offense or the defense, dog?
No, I don't turn my mic off out of protest. I just turn it off so I don't have nothing bad to say during that spot. You know what I'm saying?
I just asked you if you wanted to hear about the offense or the defense.
If that's what you want to say, that's what you want to say. I don't have nothing to do with that. All right, I'm totally distancing myself from that last remark right there. Okay, old Recon don't have nothing to do with that. All right, there you go.
I just asked you if you wanted to hear about offense and defense, dog.
Let's hear about the defense, because I saw something the other day where they was. I've been saying this all year, that that Overshawn reminds me of Fred Ward. And
Okay,
I saw somebody write that the other day.
Who is Fred Ward?
The linebacker for 49ers, number 54.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Okay. Okay. First off, I didn't hear none of that today. So I had to give you a deeper investigation to that later.
Roger that.
I'm going to start this conversation by this is funny to me, and I mean this in the way it's the spirit in which it's intended. I don't know how much Al Harris paid for them teeth, but they are perfect. And I say that with no shade at all. And what I mean is, one of the first things a lot of athletes do these days, and check this out, if you work in the media on TV, it's like you get out of school, you pay for your student loan, and then you go get your teeth done. And I was talking to a guy, not local media, national media one time. I said, dog, you got your teeth done? He said, damn right I did. I said, bruh, how much it set you back? He said, I knew the guy, and he gave me a deal. So I paid $50 for these. I said, 50 brats? He said, yeah. He said, it's worth $115. I got them done for $50. I said, dog, they look fantastic. Now, on another note, I had a friend of mine whose brother is rich, and I hadn't seen him I'm a friend of his brother, and I know him because I know his brother. But we've known each other for years. But I hadn't seen him in a couple years. And I ain't gonna never forget, dog. I saw he walked in. I said, hey, what's up, dog? I said, dog. I said, don't even lie to me, man. When you get them teeth in, how much you pay for them? He started laughing. He's like, I got these for $30,000, dog. I said, bruh, you got your money's worth. They look fantastic. And I'm not saying this out of any shade, because when you see them, they are just perfect. You like, man, I wish my teeth was like that. But I ain't got 50 racks to pay for teeth like that. But whoever did Al Harris's teeth, they are perfect. Pristine, white, pearly, perfect. One of the best set of teeth I've ever seen. Now,
that was a hell of a excellent. I'm like, if the Cowboys gonna tackle better, what are we doing? What's going on with that?
Now, Al Harris, he's assistant head coach this year. I like Al Harris. I've never really talked to Al Harris because I haven't been around as much the last 3 or 4 years. This will probably be one of the years I'm really around more than I've been the last 3 or 4 years because of COVID, because I was working on the book Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, and the Making of Men. So I wasn't around very much. So I haven't really talked to Al Harris that much. But very interesting guy, very entertaining in terms of his delivery and how he talks about his guys. Very serious-minded guy who's aspires to be a head coach. And dude, his excitement at having a healthy Trayvon Diggs and DeRon Bland at the corner. Your boy Clarence Hill said, what are your thoughts about having two of the game's better corners starting for you? And before he said, shit, man. He said, ooh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it. I just get so excited thinking about it. But dog, that was funny as heck. So he's very excited about them and what that allows him to do on defense. Here's the major thing I got from today. And I got it from Mike Zimmer. And it's about Mazi Smith. And I don't know that we'll ever get the real truth about Mazi Smith, but this is much I discerned today. Mazi Smith showed up weighing about 330. He decided, and this is always dangerous when players start thinking for themselves, and I say that in the most respectful manner possible. He decided that was too heavy for him to play in this defense, which was an attacking, get-up-the-field defense. And so you should admire his discipline, because he got down to about 295. Well, Mike Zimmer has spoken to him and told him, dog, we're going to play defense a different way. We're going to ask you to do exactly what you did at Michigan, which is control blocks, do a little more read and react, control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and let the linebackers go make tackles. Now, if you're going to make it yourself, go ahead. But your first job is to do this. And they think because he's doing what he did in college, now y'all know how I feel about that he'll be a much better, much more improved player this year. And
I think I said he's going to be fine under Mike Zimmer.
Yeah.
I think y'all poo-pooed that because y'all don't like him. But it's all good.
I can't remember, so I'm not going to say.
Roll tape, baby. But go ahead.
You are certainly entitled to roll that particular tape.
I ain't rolling that tape. It's a whole lot of tape to be rolled.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it ain't even like that.
I know that I have said in the past, within reason, I just think it's dumb to ask people to do things in the NFL completely opposite of what they did in college.
For sure.
Maybe there's some outliers.
Yep.
But I'm not asking a zone corner in college to come in as a first round. And again, it's different for first and second round picks than I can take a 6th round corner and say, hey, you played zone in college, I'm going to bring you along slowly and we're going to make you a man corner because I like your traits.
How many years was he at Michigan? 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 3 years you got to coach there. That's why I was saying last year about the read and react defense he played in Michigan. That's 3 years you got to coach him out of what he's been trained to do.
Right.
Every day. He learning to read and react. That's what made you draft him. Now you ask him to be King Kong up in there, rip through people and make penetration.
It don't even feel natural and normal.
And you know Zimmer better than me. And you know if he don't give Zimmer what he want, or at least try, his ass going to be gone. He's just going to be sitting over there. He's going to be Ebenezer Ekibon. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, the thing about it is, Zimmer will tell you, and this is Zimmer. This is the essence of Zimmer. And I'm not saying other coaches don't do this. I'm just telling you what the essence of Zimmer is. And what did he say today? He said, well, the first thing we're going to do is get him in a good stance.
Mm-hmm.
That's like football 101. Like when you show up in the 4th grade for the DeSoto Panthers and they say, let me show you how to get down in a 3-point stance or a 4-point stance. And they start tugging on your legs and say, hey, move it right here and put your hand right there and let me see your weight. Is it evenly balanced? Now lean back a little bit so you can fire off the. That's what he's talking about. Like we're gonna put him in a good stance. Then we're gonna work on his hands so that he's striking people where he needs to strike them. Because for those of you who don't know, when you come out the stance, your hands, depending on what defensive scheme you play on that particular play, are supposed to be on a certain part of the offensive lineman so you can control him or move him where you want him.
Inside.
Yeah.
Collarbone. Level like that, but they got to be in. You got to win the fight inside.
Right. See? So you got to get your hands right. Your hand placement got to be where it's want to be. And then you got to get to where you're supposed to be.
It's all second nature. It's got to be second nature. You can't be thinking about it.
Exactly. And so what we're talking about really is a high degree of technique and doing the right thing with your feet. Make sure your first step is and again, I'm paraphrasing Zimmer, but if your first step is supposed to be, one step with your toe pointed left, it needs to be one step with your toe pointed left. Not a half a step, not a step and a half, but a step, because that allows you to then move your body into the position that it's supposed to be in. And he's a stickler for that. And so it's a pain in the ass getting the technique right because he's very demanding about it. But if you do that, his defense has shown that it'll work. And so, what's the big topic with the Cowboys? Can you stop the effing run?
Technique is not hard to teach if the players are new because you're not unteaching. You know what I'm saying? You don't have no bad habits. It's like training anybody to do anything. If you got a guy that's been duck hunting his whole life and now you're going to teach him how to shoot a doggone AR, well, he got a lot of bad habits with a duck rifle. Same thing with football. You got some guys coming to other systems. They trying to do what they learned already. And they revert back. They revert back to the stuff they learned. But you get them young players, they're going to revert back to what you taught them, or they realize their ass ain't going to play. So just to hear Zimmer talk about technique means that your boy ran a loose ship last year. If they wasn't coaching your boy up, they kind of failed him last year, and that's probably why they didn't get what they wanted.
Well, I wouldn't say they ran a loose ship. I would say they did what they did.
If you're not teaching technique, that's the building blocks right there. Ain't no, if the other coach come in and say, we're going to get him in a good stance, that mean the last dude didn't do it worth for shit. If the other coach talking about technique, that mean the other dude, because you watching that tape, the film don't lie. What is he doing?
What I think it means is because it was explained to me today, and it's not that complicated. Every coach has their way of doing the things the way that they do it and the way that they coach it.
Sure.
So what he's saying is we're going to come in, and when he's saying we're going to get him in a stance, it's the stance that I want my defensive lineman in, which may or may not be what Dan Quinn wanted. Dan Quinn might have wanted your foot But
that's why Dan Quinn got his ass chewed up. That's why the defense got chewed up. Because he ain't the technique that he was doing. It wasn't.
See, I wouldn't say that. I would say we're saying something similar, but I'm being a stickler for the detail. I would just say they had different philosophies. Dan, and I say that because Dan Quinn wants you to play a certain way to get the result that he wants, and the result that there's a reason why they led the league in turnovers for 3 years in a row, and they ain't never done that before he got here. It's because he coaches a certain way. Well, Zimmer said 2 or 3 times today, we want to make sure that we technique sound and fundamentally sound because we don't want to give up anything big. We want to keep things in front of us. So he basically it's just a different philosophy. One is much more aggressive. And sometimes when you're aggressive, some shit leaks through. One wants to be much more sound. Even if we give up a little bit, we ain't giving up the big thing. And so I think it's just coaching to that. And so it's not necessarily to me, it's not that one is, it ain't about good or bad. It's just this is what we do and this is what y'all used to do. No different than they used to play 3 safeties and we're going to 2 safeties.
They used to play 3 safeties to get ran through like Swiss cheese. That shit Dan Quinn was
technique. That's about philosophy.
That shit was done. Okay. If you watch number 14 Bell on the goal line and his legs are wider than his shoulders, that's technique.
I didn't watch that though.
Yeah, I did. I do. That's technique. That's garbage.
Well, I believe we're saying similar things. We're just going about it in a different way.
I don't know. I pay attention to detail.
It's not like the Cowboys had a shitty defense for the last 3 years.
Okay.
Oh, so you think they were shitty for the last 3 years?
I think the NFL is watered down. That's what I think. I think the numbers don't matter unless you're getting somewhere with them. That's what I think. I've always been like that. Plus, Dan Quinn always ran an undersized ass defense. He even did that in Atlanta. The Jones was the damn Jones, number 45.
He did in Seattle, right?
No.
What happened in Seattle?
No. What's the name now? Them linebackers wasn't undersized. KJ Wright and Wagner was 230, 240. The linebacker with the Falcons, Jones, was like 220. He was fast, but they was giving up the ass when people pounded them. When people ran the ball on them, they was giving it up. So, the guys in Seattle was not small. They was not small. They was just on everything. They just had one of the biggest corners. They had big Richard Sherman and what's the boy name, Browner, 6'4", 220 something. Them guys was big. And then the damn safety that killed everybody. What is his damn name? I can't think of his name. No, that was a big defense in Seattle. It was not small.
Well, I think the point is they're gonna be a lot more. They may not have as many turnovers this year, but they're not gonna give up as many big plays.
Well, I just think
they're not gonna get run on.
I think Zimmer is better than your boy. That's what I think. That's better. Fair. Way better.
As Zimmer said this year, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, this morning he said, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, he way better.
It's so we'll see. But for Zimmer, it's all about, because he made a special point to talk about this. He said, my first game as a defensive coordinator, it was the pickle juice game with Andy Reid, and they ran for 200 yards on us.
Deuce Staley.
he said, aside from that year when I didn't have the personnel, I haven't been run through like that.
I think 2 or 3 people hit him up to 200. I think
they did. They
Warrick
gave
Dunn
200-yard rushes that year.
Yeah, Warrick Dunn went for 200 that year.
Yeah, so his point is stopping the run is a mentality. And when you stop the run, that allows you to rush the passer because now it's 3rd and long, 2nd and long, and now you can turn and rush the passer.
Man, it's good to talk some damn football in May. Some technique and all that shit. That's good stuff right there. I'm kind of pumped right now. Not that I was falling asleep, but, I'm just saying.
The other thing he talked about and then is that with Micah Parsons, and I found this interesting. He said, we'll line him up sometimes. He said, you're not going to fool people with Micah Parsons. They looking for him. They turn their protections to him. He's the focal point of their game plan. He said, but what that means is in certain situations, you can say, I bet I'm anticipating us putting Micah Parsons over here. And when we do this, whether it's left or the right, they're going to turn their protection to the left or the right. Mm-hmm. They're going to turn their protection to Micah on the left. Mm-hmm. In a certain situation, we're going to put it there, anticipating they're going to do that, and then we're going to bring that funk from the other side where that's not protected.
That's football 101 right there.
So he says, and then sometimes we're going to put them over here. They're going to turn their protection this way, and we're going to go, oh, okay, cool. We're going to overload this side and try to get them free that way. So that's the guessing game that comes from offense and defense. That's how they're going to plan to use Micah Parsons. He's going to be the focal point of the defense, as you would expect. And then the final thing that might interest you is he'll be on the sideline, not up in the booth. He's always been on the sideline calling the defense. He likes to look in the players' eyes on the sideline during the game.
Then
if he want to cuss them,
I was going to say.
Then if he want to cuss somebody out,
yes, sir,
he don't have to wait, and they don't have to slow play getting over to the phone. To get chewed out. He can do it right there.
There's a YouTube clip of him in the Bengals, and he giving it to him. Hey, yeah. And guess what? They put their ass out there and played better.
Right.
It's a respect thing. I'm dog cussing you, but I love you. You got to get that across, and then you can get a dude to run through a wall for you. Yeah, and you ain't got to ask nice about it either.
No. So that's what we learned on defense this week. And then we'll talk a little bit more about offense on Thursday, but and Zeke and what you can expect.
Man, that's some good stuff. That's some good stuff, man.
From that setup on the offense this year. So yeah, man, that's a little bit of football. We also got the schedule coming out on Wednesday, so we'll talk about that on Friday's show, and we also want to take a moment to say, hey, make sure, I done told you, Jacques Talk Live is coming. So go over to the YouTube channel, The Real Jacques Talk. Subscribe, rate, leave a review.
Is it live or 101? You said Jacques Talk Live is coming.
I'm sorry. The YouTube channel is The Real Jacques Talk.
Yeah. And Jacques Talk 101.
On the YouTube channel will be a show called Jacques Talk 101.
There you go.
But for purposes that we need is for you to go over to The Real Jacques Talk, subscribe, and go make it happen. You can also follow the show on IG at The Real Jacques Talk. You can hit me up on X, Twitter at JJT Journalist, Clapper, where I'm a content creator. Do a lot of videos, including some of the stuff we just got through talking about in a little more detail, is on Clapper. I am Jean-Jacques Taylor is the handle. So for Big Joe and the Big Rig and Dave the Content Kicker, until we chat again, you guys be blessed.